And we're back with the OCE Open Series with some crap hair and Yummy Cheese Man and Courier Lord joining me back on the desk for our very last series. Tainted Minds taking on the retirement home.
I like your hair.
Do you? That's a lie. You told me to fix it before we went live.
It's not a good hair day for me either.
No, that's all right. We all have bad days.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Your hair is actually the best out of all of us.
It was a low bar today, though.
Wow.
Speaking of bad days, we just had Legacy having a terrible one.
Yeah.
And now we have two teams, one that secured themselves, and every single team that are here on 10 wins is like Jam, Love Decks, and I think Legacy. They're watching Retirement Home because if Tainted Minds 3-0 Retirement Home here, those three are all fine. But if Retirement Home get a single win, it becomes a massive tiebreaker.
Oh, really? So Retirement Home can actually, I guess Kingmaker's been overused a little bit, but I would definitely use it in this situation. Retirement Home can assert themselves and assert dominance and confuse the rest.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Kingmaker. I'd just say they can put the crown on and like
They
wander
want to
through.
go.
Yeah,
They're not
Okay.
trying to help anyone else.
yeah
Alright.
it's just someone can ride their
They're Prince.
coattails on the way through, and everyone wants to see them fail so that they have the
For
safety
you and for
security.
IDK out there, king making is when somebody cannot make it through and they help somebody else. They make a decision on who makes it through, but they're trying to get through themselves. Retirement Home are in a chance, and they could even come through if they 3-0'd as the third seed.
Wow, so that's a big moment, and for a team that really we weren't expecting, they're like the Retirement Home.
They're a team that also brought in a sub yesterday, and now all of a sudden they're in a position where they can come third.
Yeah, but they got
Speaking
nice.
of their sub yesterday, wonder how his driver's license test went. Feels bad.
Yeah, Days didn't actually get his license.
So we found out.
No, it was actually a practice test.
The test wasn't on.
Oh, no. Well, at least he's come today strong with some good mentality, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if he passed the practice test, that's what matters.
It is a big thing because for them, Days was a real cornerstone of their team. I think it gives them a real opportunity up against Tainted Minds, and 2 game wins will secure them a spot.
Yeah, and I think Tainted Minds is on fire, and I know that we don't even need to go to predictions. We already know his because Lucid's
going
on
to
one
anyway,
of,
but-
Lucid's on one of the teams, so he's going to pick Tainted Minds. So it's probably going to be a discussion between me and
You know what I hate? When you don't look at me in the eyes when you talk down to me. You know, that's the worst part.
Wait, who are you?
I'm just some guy that facilitates
How'd
questioning.
you get in here?
I sneak
Bobby?
in. I dyed my hair back. What
Oh,
do you think?
nice.
It's
Yeah.
good.
You don't like it. It's a lie. Yummy.
The way Tainted Minds have been playing, the way they just took down Legacy in such a strong series, and you saw great moments from Legacy, but it wasn't enough. I originally had Tainted Minds as a 2-1. Now I have them as a 3-0.
Wow. Okay. Because I was just going to ask you what you're thinking on this series, but Korea, if Yummy's going for Tainted Minds, how do you fare?
I don't know. I'm in a similar boat. I think it's going to be the exact same. I think it'll be a 3-0, and it makes me sad to say it, but the substitute playing so well into the roster and filling them out rather than letting them down, I think maybe what lets them fall.
I don't think there's any ever question about X-Cores apart from the fact that he doesn't, I guess, scrim and play often with the main roster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jules, X-Cores, there's a little bit of a difference in playstyle, or is there really?
I think they're very similar playstyle, but the way that X-Cores is fit in today, it is not the Jules playstyle. He's staying further back, just trying to play with them, not against his own team and do his own thing. He's actually fitting in quite well.
Yeah,
Yes, no, correct.
if you took the name tags off them and watched the gameplay, you wouldn't be able to pick out that that guy's a sub.
By the way, Jake, what's your prediction?
I think it's Tainted
Wait.
Minds, by the way.
Just,
Oh,
that,
is it because
that
Elusive's
thing-
not
that
on
thing
that
there?
team?
No. The reason I would have gone for Retirement Home any day, right? But the thing is, Tainted Minds have a really funny streamer. Also, no, listen, in all seriousness, they're one of the top 3 teams. They're one of the top 3 teams, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot deny that Tainted Minds were always bound to hit one of these top 6 spots somehow. They have international experience. They're looking good on the pitch. And now I'm just getting angry. Courier, Retirement Home, Tainted Minds.
And
They're
that's-
taken to the pitch.
Retirement Home already on the back foot. Tainted Minds. They're going to say, hey, we love being aggressive. We're just going to push straight onto you. But if Retirement Home, trying to pull back.
They create so many upsets, so many confusions here in this series, and Tainted Minds looking to get another 3-0. They got it convincingly against Legacy, but now this is a much bigger fish to fry. Retirement Home, they've been coming out with a surprise, and with Dave's back on the roster, he's the one you have to watch.
Yeah, and he's going to be needing to prove himself, not because he's a new rookie player joining the team, but his teammates are probably not super happy with what happened yesterday.
Fun dribble from Kami there, Career. Although they're not super happy, they've still got so much potential here. Days coming forward. I believe he passed his practice test. The confidence boost that he needs. The shots there into the corner. Kia saves. Nice and easy does it as Days controls the ball once again around this corner. Cause has had a good day today. See if he can continue that on. The ball getting centered back around. It will be found by Kia, but pinch back into this corner. X-Cor's now playing super far back like they were talking about. A light touch will give it back to CJ, but Retirement Home are having so many opportunities.
Yeah, and here we're seeing Kami, no boost at all, slowly getting pushed in, and Retirement Home denying him, seeing every chance he goes to get back out.
Kami, now it's going to be a great position for Retirement Home. Hits the ball second time, and it's going to get sent back out. Clears after clears. CJ now to himself, picks up the boost, and will just wait patiently for this ball. Dealing out each other. Tainted Minds have had such a successful series, and Retirement Home, this is their only game today.
Yeah, good demolition from CJ trying to break through.
Oh.
Scary moment dropping it, and he still hasn't got it out. Backboard defense needs to come through and save their life. Oof.
They survived for now, though, Career, and although it was a little bit sloppy, and you know, Tainted Minds, they recover themselves well. CJ hangs around this corner, and now there's an opportunity that's just come up. Retirement Home get it clear away and leave it to Kia to do the solo dribble as the 1-2 and the third is right here for Elusive, setting it up, and the first goal is scored by Retirement Home.
Elusive is such a great teammate for setting up these big plays, and it's something he's done with every single roster. And Days to finish, he is their highest scoring player, and it's great to see him back on the pitch.
That's right, their striker knows where to be and when, and for Retirement Home, what a better start against the monsters of Tainted Minds. How do they recover from this? Well, you get a big clear like that, set yourselves up, and try and get some backboard pressure, they say. Kami getting the boost mid-air, and unfortunately won't amount to anything, but now X-Cor's big flip over the top. Sub no more, he says, I deserve to be on the main roster. Unfortunately, he's still a sub, still playing well. Nevertheless, 2 minutes 30. Retirement Home still lead by 1. That pass is going to be over to Kia, who actually wasn't expecting it. Now comes off the wall. Pass up again. CJ, mid-air. Not touched off this wall. Elusive, trying to play it well. Wants me to make a raptor noise, but I will not. Career, I can assure you, I will not make a raptor noise.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? I love Elusive, and I do now, but I will not sacrifice what happened yesterday for today. It's a different game. And for Retirement Home, you can already see that game has changed so much. A 1-0 lead when it was no expectation for Retirement Home to get themselves in the lead. Now have to hold it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with my prediction now. Retirement Home playing so well against a Tainted Minds that just took down that big 3-0 against Legacy. These are a team that has just performed better and better as the season goes on.
Kami with the double dunk. Holy moly, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he did get that nice shot from across the pitch, set up by his teammates. I thought they might be able to get up in time, but Days didn't have the right angle. So Kami getting the goal.
It's honestly come to be that Tainted Minds, like in the last series, they'll get scored on, but they always find a way to equalize.
Yeah, they're an aggressive team. If they can try create an opening, they're not afraid to go really deep into it and make it happen.
Well, 1 minute 30 remaining, overtime or bust right now for Retirement Home, but the setup coming through from Tainted Minds again, missing the first initial shot. X-Cause tries to recover the ball. Keep an eye on Retirement Home. They're trying to push up this right wing, but denied by Tainted Minds. With a minute 10 remaining, they're still trying to clear the ball away, but using that bump, that's actually going to give some speed on the ball. Now centered, Retirement Home looking to send it down. Center still there. Away by Kami. The follow through, Tainted Minds starting to get aggressive, starting to speed up this ball, but X-Cause suddenly brings it to a halt. He's wondering, which way should I go? Gets sent back eventually to Tainted Minds defense, and nice touchdown from CJ. CJ will actually amount to Retirement Home losing control of this ball, but then regaining. And it's like an age-old storybook where Retirement Home are the protagonists. They fall down, they get back up, they've fallen down again, and they're back up again, Korea.
They're never going to let you down?
They're never going to let me down. It's not even going there. Retirement Home, this is it. There's a miss on the backboard. Kia, a third shot. He should have found it with number 2, but unfortunately, they'll still be equalized.
Yeah, Kia hasn't had the shooting that we've expected him from the past seasons. He's coming in at 12.1%. This is so unlike him last season when he was playing under the Pale Horse roster before they went overseas.
I mean, it's him going up against this old roster as well, and Kia comes in fast. You still see that pace that he developed with this squad. That ball will hit the ground. It's overtime, and Never expected it to go here.
No, Retirement Homes are putting up a great defense and even better offense against the Tainted Mine roster, and they're beating them out to the ball. And Tainted Mine's so fast off the ground. So if you can do that, you're in prime pickings.
Oh, that touch with CJ actually sets it up so perfectly for Pale Horse. Gets it out. Daze actually with the angle from X-Cause. No sub, no more. CJ comes in for the shot. It's denied, but still Tainted Minds keep it up this side of the field. Retirement Home, only 30 seconds have passed, but it has stayed in that orange side. There's issues for Retirement Home. The speed stepping up for Tainted Minds as they look to put the nail in game one.
But the follow-up being given up. When CJ chooses to back out, you know the push is somewhat over, but they, again, trying to build the pressure.
Doesn't play interrupted, but not from CJ. CJ off the wall is elusive. CJ now centers it over to X-Cause, misses it, but it is a good fake, I guess, over to Kami. Unable to secure the goal. Everyone has to rotate back. CJ now given priority over the ball. Over to X-Cause again. That pass will come off the wall. Now this is a good send-up. Ready for CJ to come down, but unfortunately not. Kami, the man who sets everyone up. He should run a dating service after this. Retirement Home in overtime, trying to find the second goal. Get themselves a game one. This is so close. CJ now playing for time. Kia, not the biggest clear. CJ able to react, but a second touch, a third touch from elusive. Kami away. Speed needs to be picked up by Tainted Minds, but right now they look like they're struggling. Off the roof, saved again by CJ. CJ, Kia's in, but now he's out.
Yep, ready for the big clear coming out from the Tainted Minds side. Retirement Home very comfortable, able to slowly work their way back forward, and here we now see the attacks coming through.
But really, they're still speeding things up. A minute 45 past, now in through the air. Comes X-Cause, the setup, but Kia responds. Imminent counter-attack as CJ off the side, now sets it up for Kami, and these intercepts are making work for Retirement Home. Over to X-Cause again, the light touch. Needed there by Kami, unfortunate. CJ up for the ball, over the top. He's going to find it, but no, it hits the crossbar, and we continue into overtime.
Terrible moment there, X-Cause going for the flip, unfortunately missing the goal. This is an opportunity that may just cost them as the ball bounces around the Tainted Mind's mouth.
Things are really going to get sticky, and in a Retirement Home, that is disgusting. 2 minutes 30 into overtime. Tainted Minds are looking down the barrel of maybe taking a game one loss. The touch light from Kia hits it to the side. Daze goes over the top of the ball.
Ball's up. Another attack coming through to the Tainted Minds. They're stuck in the corner, trying to find their way out. This is where they hate to be. This is a team that wants to be punching, but the goal is coming through, and they smash it down. Daze is back, taking the first game for Retirement Home.
And what a return from Retirement Home. Daze goes for a driving test yesterday. He comes back, and he's got his P's in his mind. One goal up, and that is the game one.
It's not only the Tainted Minds is worried that they've lost that game. There is 3 other teams watching going, oh no, Retirement Home, they've just hit 10. We now have a 4-way tie. If they win, we're in a 3-way tie and they've moved ahead. So there's a lot of tension for all of the teams that are sitting back in the audience going like, please stop winning.
They're like, stop, please stop. But Retirement Home, they take it comfortably and they don't care what anyone else thinks. This is about them. They're performing in this series, and Tainted Minds losing one game when they felt so comfortable in the series before is just a testament to how strong Retirement Home are, and should not be called Retirement Home.
Yeah, maybe it's Galapagos turtles or something. They're 70 years old. They thought, you know, humans go at 70 into the Retirement Home, but these things live for, like, forever.
Makes you believe in evolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darwin had something going for him.
I mean, so did Retirement Home. There's some good plays coming out, but I think we have to highlight the passing plays from Retirement Home. Long, accurate, and these intercepts as well.
Yeah, they're playing fast off the ground, which is really hard to do against Tainted Mind because that's kind of their shtick. They like to go fast. They like to go for the intercepts.
Yep.
But when Retirement Home are kind of beating you to it and then taking the game off you, it's over.
Yep, next question comes towards Tainted Minds and whether they can actually find themselves in a comfortable position because they've had time to quote-unquote warm up. And this is a very different series from them, a very different enemy. Retirement Home haven't played today.
Yeah. And they're doing this well.
So you've got to give some kind of, I guess, praise to Retirement Home off the kickoff. They've already pushed in game 2 in this series of 3. Now it's up to Tainted Minds to secure and confirm where they'll be sitting in this gauntlet. How are they going to go? 11 points at the moment, but they've got to pick up more after this series. The center, Kiad on the defense. Game number 2, X-Cores over the top. Retirement Home looking confident here, even on the defense. X-Cores lurking around, actually. Ball's going to be left to him. This pass is going to be centered over to Kami, bumped out of the way. Opening now for Retirement Home. The ball, it does fly in.
Another goal down for Days. Imagine if they had him playing yesterday. There is a chance they could have pushed all the way to the top of the ladder, but I think they may have to make do with trying to steal third.
I mean, let's look at this realistically. Retirement Home at the start of the competition, yes, they were a strong team, but they weren't this strong. We were looking at Legacy. We were looking at Tainted Minds and the Chiefs, and Retirement Home, they've just come through at a steady pace, and now when it matters, they're putting up a fight. 1-0, a minute has passed, and they're starting to get aggressive.
Yeah, I think it must be a Sunday thing. They lose all the games on Saturday, and they've never lost a game on a Sunday. Maybe they just like the newspaper, and it puts them in the mood.
Or maybe they went to church, and that was a very different story, and actually a very different argument. A goal over the top. CJ unable to defend.
They are taking them apart. What a day for Days as he smashes through the Tainted Minds defense. And you're seeing CJ with an awkward angle, no boost, no save.
But still, Days testament here as he keeps scoring goals for Retirement Home. 2-0. I never thought I'd say this in a series against Tainted Minds. Retirement Home are cleaning this up. Days look to do it again. Off the backboard, that's not touch. That's another goal.
This is insane. Here we have Tainted Minds, the team that has gone international. They've gone overseas. They've versed players from EU as well.
Yep.
And now we have Retirement Home. The group of guys are like, hey, we're going to quit. They all quit. Well, Days kind of did. And then they came back together with like a day before the tournament. And now they're punching their way against some of the best OCE has to offer.
And you know what? Even people in chat are flip-flopping it with an 80% poll. I mean, everyone is just going for Retirement Home. Tainted Minds are on the back foot, and it looks like there's nothing they can do here with a 3-0 advantage. Is Game 2 going to be that easy? Do Tainted Minds find themselves in a more favorable position? The answer looks to be no.
Yep, I'm going to have to apologize, Elusive. I had you back last year. I lost the way, but I'm returning to the church of Retirement Home.
But he even talked to you in chat and said, I love you, Courier. You know what? And I got shade, and I've been talking up Elusive, and I'm just, I'm just upset, but emotional at the same time. Everything's happening so fast.
And fast is definitely the way it's coming out as Retirement Home is destroying Tainted Minds. And here's the attempt, but the backboard defense comes out fast, and Retirement Home are right back in Tainted Minds.
And they could secure themselves a top 3 position. Good save by X-Cores, but an even better dribble by Elusive. Now Days looking for the setup, and Retirement Home want to take this cleanly. Days dribbling it off the wall, taken away by X-Cores. Elusive comes head-to-head after losing the challenge, then goes back to the ball, but it's going to be centered for Tainted Minds. No one can get over the goal, and it still remains a 4-0 game. Retirement Home, they're on this horse. They've controlled it. And I tell you what, they're looking pretty comfortable up here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Just the little feint standing there in front of each other. Both of them not sure if they want to make the move, but when you're 4 goals up, you can afford to stay there for 5 seconds, watching the ball and just be like, hey, you going to make the move?
I can just see the confidence coming out of Retirement Home as well. They're like, you know what, we're happy. We're happy to sit here and play this. This is another goal coming in. At this point, it's just getting ridiculous.
Oh, man, I would love to hear the comms of Retirement Homes. The Salty Boys now taking this game 5-0. This is getting close to one of the most one-sided games I've seen all league.
And I believe CJ has actually disconnected as well, which is quite unfortunate, but still Retirement Home, there is really nothing they have to do. Kami sitting there as well, and at this point, yeah, it's going to be one of the first competitive games where teams are just going to chill.
I think there is a point where when you're up 4-0, the odds were probably not good that Tainted Minds is going to come back if the game had gone that poorly.
So now it's a highlight reel, I guess, for Days. Yep. That's just cruel.
Hey, he saw that Jake had that 10% shooting rate yesterday and then bumped it up to 30, broke records for the highest number of goals ever scored. And now Dave's like, you know what? I could do that too.
I believe we've just got Jules in the match. So Jules and X-Cores now on the field, and Tainted Minds then pick up the pace. So they're back on. X-Cores comes up to the ball, and I guess we've got a match going again. Jules is here as well, and let's see what they can do. It is 6-0. It is 2 minutes remaining, but a different dynamic coming onto the pitch and could make all the world of difference.
Yeah, hopefully some positivity towards Jules. Everyone in chat, give him a little bit of love. Cops a bit of heat, but let's see how he goes.
I mean, unfortunately, he can't hear it, but the support for Jules No doubt that it's going to be strong. Tainted Minds, if they are running this roster for Game 3, that's going to be a different question. And to pick up 1 point, I mean, that's a bare minimum that Tainted Minds look to be getting. Kami now with the center there. The touch forward. Unfortunate not to find it, but again, this change in dynamic looks to be okay for Tainted Minds.
Yeah, I mean, it's 06, so for this, I think the important thing is Jules just getting comfortable warming up. He would have gone in with the expectation of not having to play today. So for him, just, you know, working through, making sure your mechanics are clean is going to be the most important thing.
Oh, Kami. I mean, they may be down 6-0, but to pull off a shot like that when you're behind is damn impressive.
Yeah, it's a great angle.
Oh, honestly.
The old
like,
drop in.
That makes me ashamed of my gameplay and then step up to the next notch of, like, how do you look that good?
It's hard push to look as good as Kami. Easily one of the best players in the scene. So when he pulls out stuff like that, you just got to be proud.
Well, I believe that Jules will be subbing in for next game as well. So that's quite curious. And Tainted Minds, again, warming up to this different dynamic. And I think it's something really important we point out. Because for this next game, that last point on the line for Season 5, for our league play in the OCE Open Series, that's it. This will be the very last game coming up.
Yeah, and Retirement Home have, off the back of this at least 6-1 win, guaranteed themselves into the gauntlet.
So Retirement Home have come out of the barrel, out of the gate, out of the sausage factory, I don't know. They've come out of wherever you want to send them out of, and they've made an impact. And you've got to be very proud of Retirement Home for a team that we weren't expecting to really put up a fight at the qualifiers. At the very start, we're going, yeah, they'll probably get in, but they might not be the strongest team. Are now looking at a potential 4th, 3rd spot.
Yeah. If they lose the next game, they get 4th. If they win the next game, they're top 3 as a pickup team.
You got to change your name. At what point do you look at changing your name to, like, middle-aged home?
They're like the Expendables at this point. Like,
or like
they've all
college.
retired. They've all come back.
College home. Campus. Anything right now would be better than Retirement Home. Korea looks at me like I've actually just killed a cat. Honestly. Absolute bonkers. Tainted Minds will find themselves with 3 goals at the end of the day, and Retirement Home have no choice but to look good against that roster. And I mean, they initially found the lead. That was the thing. Before CJ left, before we lost him, they did find themselves in the lead and in the advantage of Retirement Home. 2 games on Tainted Minds. Now this was unexpected.
Yeah, and 7 shots out of days. Maybe the day off was a bit of a deload for him. You know, took some time off, had some relaxation, a bit of R&R.
Yeah. But he's come out of
cordial.
He's come, yeah, I'm sure that'll do it. Out of anything. Is that like your PG version of something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we could talk about liquor anyway, but anyway. Game 3 is, well, it's day 4. Game 3 is really, really important for both of these teams here.
Yeah, because it decides the seeding for these two teams. They're both now sitting at an equal number of game wins. Whoever pulls this now moves into 3rd.
Yeah.
There's 2 major consequences of that. Due to the way the gauntlet system is set up, you get a minimum prize based on what you come in at. So they get a guaranteed 3rd place minimum, potentially going up. If they all they need is win 1 match, and they get $3,500 right off the bat. But for 4th, you get not only the lower amount of money guaranteed, but you have to win more games to get back up.
That's right, and the gauntlet is so daunting because the further you run, the more exhausted you're going to be because there is no break. It is a constant best of 7, I believe, running, and you do not stop. You do not, like, get a chance to breathe. If you're in that 5th or 6th position, fine, that's like the worst you could be. But when you're at the 3rd and 4th as well, you got teams that are like, okay, I've warmed up 1. And now I'm taking you on. It's like, this is actually not the worst case scenario for me.
Yeah, and like when you're in 4th, you're still going to be playing 3 games, like 3 whole matches. You can be versing 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, assuming you make that run. And at no point can you have the lack of consistency because you're going to drop. And then if you lose any match, you're gone. Even for the lower seeds, these ones that have just watched in terror as Retirement Home has knocked them down, one of them out, who have to now do like 5 grueling games before they even have a chance to take on the 1st place.
And it's fierce for teams like Legacy here, where Legacy could have found themselves up in a safe spot with just that one game win. And now they could potentially be looking at, other teams like Lovedex as well in a really grueling position. And it's a place you do not want to be. And for Retirement Home here, they're looking at 4th. They've secured it. Now can they get 3rd?
Yeah, and you have Jules coming in off the back of not having done a warm-up. Then he's playing with another sub. They're running 2 players that haven't been playing much together at all.
So now I can just update you. So CJ has actually come back in for this game 3, and Jules has subbed for X-Cause. So I guess Jules was available at the last moment, and they've decided to run their strongest roster. So Tainted Minds really, really want to take this win, and they want to make sure Retirement Home cannot get the 4th position.
Yeah, this is a game for several $100s, let alone the fact that they have the potential to win so much more. So it's critical. And then Kia, for him, this is great because he's versing his ex-teammates from last season and then beating them at their own game.
That's what they have to do. Now Tainted Minds. Only a minute has passed. They're setting up. They're looking strong as ever. Jules is there. The center's beautiful. Tainted Minds in good form.
Welcome back, Jules, as you take out the first goal and hopefully, for Tainted Minds' sake, the beginning of the end.
A different playstyle. Retirement Home came into this prepping for X-Cause, prepping to go against someone who maybe rotates back more. Jules is aggressive. Jules is a totally different player.
And the angle he took is one that he doesn't typically land as of this tournament. He's been struggling to land the shootings. Normally, he sets them up for his teammates by trying to take as many shots, not necessarily on target.
Kami flip-flopping around, doing some fun stuff around that corner, but as we digress forward, CJ has been hit with the other corner and will continue to pace around this ball. Kami as well. Daze actually centers it quite nicely, but no one to follow up, and they're just going to recover. Time and Home. Looking at game 3, can they find it? Kia missing that shot. Jules will hold on the defense. Kami here as well. Around this corner, 3 minutes 30. Now pushing the ball up. Kia here. Low, the ball follows. Gonna go for the dribble. Stolen away by Jules, and this will set up Tainted Minds. Unfortunately, I think that was CJ who came flying through the air there. Kami is in defense, but this is a good center if someone can manage to touch it. Kami gets a better. Jules as well. The pass up the field. Kami now going to set up. This is what you have to watch out for because Tainted Minds Kami is good at setting the other players up.
And he's a bully, trying to get bumps on both of the Retirement Home players before they then push forward to build the advancement into the Retirement Home castle.
Kami around the corner as well. Jules, up he goes. Doesn't mean anything here at the moment until they score that next goal, or if they do, the big clear that has to get Kami back. A good follow-up. Counter clears there. CJ up for the ball, beats Kia to it, and you can see that they're starting to get faster career. They're starting to really build with the tempo of this game.
And they need to, because if you want to put Retirement Home under the gun, this is a team that hasn't played as much together, whereas you have. If you can speed up the game and hope to force mistakes from their rotations, it's an option.
Jules actually pacing well with that ball. CJ now setting it up. It's centered. Jules hanging around. They played the whole day with X-Cause, but Jules comes in looking so refreshed. Kami as well round this corner, looking to find the second touch, but Elusive steals it away. Retirement Home have secured themselves Gauntlet, but they want more. They're trying to get the ball out, but with 2 minutes remaining, Tainted Minds look better than ever, or at least best in the series.
Yeah, and they're pressuring themselves when they have to pull this win from nowhere after getting destroyed in the first 2 games.
Retirement Home on form still, looking for the counterplay, and Jules is going to actually pass it back. That's very risky. I think CJ had to really commit high for that ball and might open things up. Kia comes in, narrowly defended by Tainted Minds. They have to be careful where they're passing. Now getting the clear and also the attack. Elusive will try and get this ball out of here.
Coming around the side, cheating his way forward as well. If one of his teammates can get the pass, but when CJ moves in for the kill, you got to be worried.
Kami trying to rotate around there, trying to get the bump as well. Daze loses the ball, but Kami, very good positioning, actually rotates around the 3 attackers of Retirement Home, setting up Tainted Minds. Kami leaving the ball over to Daze. You can see they're happy with a 1-goal lead because they're controlling possession. They're controlling this ball. A minute remaining.
Slowly but surely, Jules even going for that huge dribble. What a monster play, finishing it off as well. This is the guy, he has finally come out of his shell, smashing out the much-needed advantage of that 2-0 lead.
What a welcome back for Jules. 2-0, Tainted Minds. This is what they needed to bring their roster back into the shake of this series. with a minute left remaining, can Retirement Home gather their thoughts and bring back the pressure? You'd have to say that Tainted Minds find themselves in a comfortable position, although Days does knock it down, and CJ will have time to react.
Oh, that goal was critical for them. They may have just saved themselves and locked in that third place, even though they may not win the match.
The Retirement Home still found themselves a 4th seed in this gauntlet, which is so crucial for them. And a team that doesn't have to run up as much as 5th and 6th. Now have an opportunity to surprise us again. 20 seconds remaining. And Tainted Minds have done what they can and have secured themselves a position. Not only that, a better one at this stage. And you've got to give it to Tainted Minds. In Game 3, they've definitely brought their A game.
And that's what matters. As long as you can guarantee that you're getting the seed you want, when the games no longer matter for these top teams, all they care about is placement.
And Kami looking for the montage. Will actually find it. And the third goal for Tainted Minds secures the win.
And they can be happy in that, knowing that they got the placement they wanted. And a beautiful goal to finish with all three of them up in the air, high-fiving each other as the goal goes down.
So Tainted Minds do take one win, and Retirement Home will be the real victors of that series. So 3 other teams scrambling at this stage to look comfortable, to get in the gauntlet.
Oh boy, I am so excited to see just how the gauntlet ends up being lined up, to see just how all of our teams have fallen into place.
But also Retirement Home created the upset. They put people in these uncomfortable positions.
I know that Kia is really looking forward to this series and hoping to, come in, take down
The old
Pale Horse roster and prove that, he is a worthwhile player. The only question there was the X-Cores, and maybe next week we will see that rematch with a full roster and a best of 5, because that's where he can truly prove themselves. It was a great day, a great season so far, brilliant league play, and I do have the results here. After Tainted Minds lost that, they could have been 2nd seed if they got one more game, but it's Darksided number 1, Chiefs number 2. Tainted Minds number 3 and Retirement Home number 4. And then from my quick calculations, do not confirm this 100%. It's 99%, but it should be Legacy number 5 with a 4-2 in the tiebreaker in terms of games. And Love Decks in number 6 with a 3-3. The fact that they 3-0 Jam Gaming made the difference here today. And so those are going to be the 6 teams. Jam Gaming just narrowly missing out.
Only just, though. I mean, this is so crucial. And, of course, Yummy will confirm. And through our social media platforms, we'll put up a final standings there as well. But what a close league play. Even though we've said that every league play, this, to me, felt like it was narrow.
Well, last season it was close at the top with 4 teams tying in first place. And this season it was close down at that bottom area. With it was pretty close, I guess, all the way through, but the tie was at the bottom.
I think this season has really shown me as well that it has tightened up, not just at the middle section, but these middle teams can beat the top ones, whereas before there was like distinct banding where you don't expect Conspiracy to take down Chiefs and Jam in the same
Yeah, especially with series of 3, it showed every game counted, and it could cause a lot of upsets with teams going, okay, we just need to win 2 games. We just need to, even 1 game was enough to cause a little bit of an upset and get people just across the line.
But it still was an exciting game, exciting league play, and we have to look at this week's MVP, this day's MVP for our league play.
It was a big day for a lot of these people, but you know that there was one team that came in behind everyone else in the competition and just secured themselves with that 3-0 over Jam. So you have to give it to CJM of the Love Decks. He had a big day. He not just had that. I think I was a little bit swayed by his season, the entire league play as well. So he was massive.
Well-deserving CJM taking our Throwdown MVP. For anyone else who wants to get involved, throwdownesports.com, and you can sign up to the OCE Championship now. $25,000 prize pool and 2 spots to RLCS. But that's it for league play, gents, until our grand final next Sunday, starting at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you so much to Yummy Cheeseman. Thank you so much to Courier and Bobby J. We'll be back with you next weekend for the run of the gauntlet.